What's good, family? 93 Sports News, back at y'all with another video. This video, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and my reasonable expectations of them moving forward with the franchise and how quickly I really think they can actually turn this around. Just me looking at their salary cap situation and the conference that they're in. Now, we all know the Western Conference is the toughest conference in pro basketball. To me, it's starting to slowly shift towards the Eastern Conference because, a lot of the worst teams are in the Eastern Conference. It means you get the higher draft picks. It means you're getting the younger, more talented players. So I see it's starting to. I'm not saying that the East is going to overtake the West anytime soon, but I can see a gradual shift towards the Eastern Conference being the more stronger conference in the West soon. But historically, over the last, I want to say, at least 15 years, probably even longer than that, the Western Conference has been the most dominant conference in basketball. And my reasonable expectations of the Lakers is I expect them to, what I mean by turning around, I'm not talking about winning a championship. I'm talking about being a playoff caliber basketball team. A team that is a possible threat to win a championship. I'll say 2, maybe 3 years. And I know a lot of Lakers fans probably sitting there saying, we're probably going to turn it around longer than that. They have to get under a couple of bad contracts. Now, let me start off first with the Timothy Mozgov trade. I think they added him this summer from the Cleveland Cavaliers. They gave him a 4-year, $64 million, I believe. It was like $16 million a year. That contract, I don't know what they were thinking about giving that dude that much money. I mean, I understand at that time last summer they had a lot of money to spend, but you don't go around sitting there blowing your money, just spending a lot of money on a bunch of average C-level players. I mean, I understand the salary cap is going up in basketball, but still, man, $16 million for Timothy Mozgov is an absolute joke of a contract. Also, Luol Deng's contract. Luol Deng is making like $18 million. Luol Deng's making $18 million a year. They're stuck with that contract. No team is gonna want to touch that contract. Those two contracts alone, they're gonna be kind of stuck and hamstrung for at least a couple years. Nobody's gonna want to touch them because the salaries they're making. Nobody's gonna want to make a trade to get them. I mean, by the time their contracts are up, they're gonna be in their mid-30s. Nobody's gonna touch those couple of guys. And then we got question marks of how good is Brandon Ingram gonna be? Their second overall pick in the NBA draft. Now, he's not having a great rookie year. I think he's only averaging like 7 or 8 points a game, like a couple of rebounds. And this is the guy they didn't want to throw in the DeMarcus Cousins trade. The Lakers would have got DeMarcus Cousins if Jim Buss would have threw in the kid, and they would have got DeMarcus Cousins. But they didn't want to pull the trigger, which I think was a bonehead decision. We don't know how good this dude is. I mean, people like to sit there and say, well, Kevin Durant was skinny when he came in the league. Dude, Kevin Durant was putting in buckets in Texas and his first year in the league. We have not seen no flashes of Brandon Ingram being a superstar yet. Now, I know it's still early. You know what I'm saying? It's too soon to, write how this dude's career is going to pan out. But all I'm saying is to not get a guy who averages like 27 and 11 and like 4 or 5 assists a game, who's 26 years old, who's just entering his prime, a big man. Big men don't grow on trees, and you're not willing to pull the trigger on a guy who averages 8 points a game? That is bad management, man. Because the Lakers can't get free agents right now, man. Part of it is because of their bad ownership. With Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak, they're both gone now. Now Magic Johnson's running the organization. A lot of people are giving Magic Johnson a hard time, sitting there saying that he's not worthy and all this shit. How's he gonna make time for the Lakers? I mean, give the dude a chance, man. I think he's gonna turn the Lakers around. Now I just don't think it's gonna be as soon as Lakers fans think it's gonna be. Like, I don't think it's gonna be next year. They're gonna be this team that's gonna contend. Nah, it's gonna take a couple years because they got a lot of problems with their roster, man. They got a lot of guys on their roster that does the same thing, man. They need a Julius Randle, man. He's a role player. Jordan Clarkson, who they got, he's making like $12 or $13 million. He's a solid player, nice player. He's not a difference maker. They got no difference maker on the roster. Anybody on their roster is tradable. That includes Brandon Ingram. Anybody on their roster, man. They just got a first-round pick from the Houston in the Lou Williams trade. You know, they need more assets, need more picks, man. And try to probably package it up and try to trade for maybe a Paul George or a Jimmy Butler, something like that, because they need to get a star in here because they can't get one due to free agency. But that's what my thoughts, my opinions on the Lakers project, how long I think it's going to take them. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. 93 Sports News. I'm out. Peace.